In the previous video, we added our photo to a Quickpage and resized it. In this video, you'll learn how to add a title and journaling using one of your favorite fonts in the Type tool. You'll discover how easy it is to change the colors of your type on a whim, and finally, how to prepare your layout to share with me and everybody else. Let's go. Our first step is to build a title for our layout. You'll find that the text is pretty easy to create in a photo editor once you understand a few functions. First, let's target the top layer in our Layers panel. That's going to be our Quickpage Layer 0. I'm going to rename it Quickpage by just double-clicking on the word Layer 0, and that will change over the text. So my cursor, I can type the Quickpage in. With the first layer targeted in the top of our Layers panel, it ensures that whatever we type next appears at the top of our layout and not behind the Quickpage or the photo where we can't see it. And for text, we always turn to the Type tool, the T icon here in the Tools panel. Click on it. The Type tool is home to a variety of text tools, including the Horizontal Type tool, the Vertical Type tool, and the Text on a Shape tool, and quite a few other tools as well. But for our purposes, we're going to stick with the handy-dandy Horizontal Type tool. Most of the time, it's the tool that you'll use for text. And with the context-sensitive menu open for the Type tool, we can adjust the font, the style of the font, like regular, italics, or bold. We can choose a color for the font from a preset assortment of color swatches. We can adjust the size of the text, the leading, which is simply the space between the lines of type, and finally the justification. We'll take a deeper look at all of these options as we go along in class. Let's build a title, and we'll start with the font. For my layout, I'm going to choose Times New Roman. Just going to scroll down here and select Times New Roman Regular for my title. You can mimic my title or choose a font of your own from the listing. Any of the fonts will work, and all of the choices coming up will work for any font that you choose. Next, choose a color for your title. I'm choosing a dark blue violet that closely matches the dark blue violet already in the Quickpage. Click on that color in the color swatches here. And finally, let's choose a font size. This is a guess for right now, as you and I are both unsure of the perfect size for the title. It depends on how long the word is and how many words you want in your title. It's easier to adjust it after we've added it and we see it on the Quickpage. So for now, set the size to 72 points. And we're ready to go. Click on your workspace where you want the title to go and begin typing the word for your title. As you type, your text will appear, and when you finish typing your title, click on the green checkbox to finalize your text. And here it is with its own little bounding box. Let's add a second word. Click on your workspace again underneath your first word. Choose the Type tool if it's not already still selected. And before you begin typing, change the color. Now, if you want your color to stay the same exact that you had before, that's completely fine. I'm going to change the color and I'm going to choose this pure magenta red from my color swatches, which also kind of matches the pinkish red that's in the Quickpage. All right, I'm going to type my word again by clicking right below my first word. And then click the green checkbox to finalize my text. And as you can see, my second word is kind of hanging off the side here, so I need to fix that. So we'll need to reposition both the words using the Move tool. Click on the Move tool in the Tools panel, if it's not already selected, and click directly on the text in the workspace. Now, because Auto Select Layer is toggled on here, you can easily click on the text layers, actually go back and forth between them. And Auto Select is found right here in the context-sensitive menu of the Move tool here. So I can click on either one of these and move them around. You should also notice that a blue highlight box appears when your mouse rolls over different layers like the text. And that happens because the Show Highlight on Rollover box is checked in the context-sensitive part of the Move tool. And similar to photos, hovering and clicking your mouse over the corner anchor points, like right here, will allow you to reduce, enlarge, or resize basically the text. So you can resize your text to fit perfectly on your layout. I'm going to click my green check mark here and bring the glamour or the girl part of the glamour underneath it, about right here. And I want this girl to be behind the glamour here, so the little dot in the eye is behind the pink part of my title. So in my layers panel here, I'm going to drag girl, as I showed you before. I'm going to drag this layer underneath glamour in the layers panel. So right now, play around with the presentation of your title while getting used to the Move tool. It's great practice and will help you master some intricate photo editing tools coming up. Finally, let's add a few lines of journaling by creating a text box. Now you'll notice that every time we created a title word, we simply activated the horizontal type tool and clicked on the workspace of the layout. On the flip side, when you want to create a text box, you click, hold, and drag your mouse, and a box will appear as you drag. So I'm going to click on the type tool again, and click, hold, and drag. And as I do, a box appears. Once you let go of your mouse, a cursor will blink within the box inviting you to type. And this is the typical way to create journaling. Could you type your title in a text box? Yes. And could you type your journaling without a text box? For sure. You could, but it'd be in one straight line. So just keep in mind the function of the text tool works in two different ways. One as a line of text, and then the other as a text box. Likewise, the size of the text box is completely dependent on how far you drag your mouse. If you want an itty-bitty text box, draw a small box. If you want a humongous, gigantor box, well, just draw a very big box. So we're going to draw a box like so. And once your box is drawn, then you can choose your font, a color. I'm going to switch back to black here by clicking on the color and selecting black from the preset here. Change my size. I'm going to change it down to 10 points. Font, color, size, and then I can begin typing my journaling. And just to speed us up, I'm just going to do that there. When you've typed too much into your journaling box, you'll notice that you'll receive, let me zoom in here so you can see it. You'll notice that some of the words are coming off. When that happens, you can use the bounding box arrow to pull the journaling box down or up so that you can see all of your journaling. I'm going to stop it right there and click the green check mark to commit my journaling change. And then it flips for me right back into the Move tool so that I can adjust all of my pieces. To zoom in, you can go to View, Zoom In or Out. And again, you've already seen the fit on screen. So to zoom in, you can go to View, Zoom In. If you want to zoom out, View, Zoom Out. And if you want it to fit on the screen again, View, Fit on Screen. And then with my Move tool selected, I can play around with all of my pieces so that my title and my text all fit together. Now, an extra note about size for your journaling. One of the biggest questions most scrapbookers ask is, what size should the text be? The average text size for a 12 by 12 page is 12 points. 8 by 8 pages are relatively safe with 10 points or even 8 points. So if you're ever in doubt though, run a test page to be sure how your font and size look and print it. That way you'll know for sure. Now here's another cool trick. You'll find that in digital scrapbooking, most things are editable after the fact. You can make changes on the fly. That's why digital scrapbooking is so addictive. Take this text, for example. In the Layers panel, the text is still active, my journaling right here. It's still blue. If it's not, simply click on the layer in the Layers panel and then target your text. So I'm going to target the glamour here. You can revisit the text tool if it's not already active in the Tools panel. And down here in the context-sensitive menu, you can change the font. That's Thirsty Script Extra Bold. Looking through all of the fonts, and I have quite a few that I've downloaded over the years here. But let's say I wanted Palantino Bold. I can also change the color. Say if I wanted to do a light blue or maybe a teal. There we go. And let's say if I wanted a different style. I could change from bold to bold italic. All of it is still editable. And that, folks, is a beautiful thing. Let's go even deeper. Suppose you don't like the changes you've made and you want to return back to the original. You need a way to undo all of the changes you made, right? Go to the menu bar up here again and choose Edit, Undo. Doing so will step my layout backwards in time and undo the change I just made. And in Photoshop Elements, we can back up our steps to the beginning. Just go to Edit, Undo, Edit, Undo. Now, this particular process of going to edit and undo is tedious, but there's an easier way using shortcut keys. Shortcut keys are a combination of keys we press on our keyboard to make a lengthy action easier. I'm sure you know that. The shortcut keys for undo is the combination of the Command key, if you're on a Mac, or the Control key, if you're on a PC, and the letter Z. So pressing Command Z or Control Z will back up your steps, and look, I return right back to my original journaling text before all the changes. With your photo, title, and journaling added, you've completed your first digital scrapbook layout. Congratulations! Welcome officially to the Digital Scrapbooking Club. It's times like these that were made for celebration. Before we save this layout for sharing on the web with all your friends and me too, because I want to see it, let's save this file quickly as is. You've already renamed your file, but we need to save it as a layered file so we can make adjustments later. To save the file as a layered PSD or a working file, go to File, Save. The menu will want to know where on your hard drive to save it. I'm saving mine in my class folder, and it will assign the file a Photoshop format with an extension of .psd. Layered Photoshop files are saved with extension .psd, and that's how you can identify a working PSD file. By default, Layers and Embedded Color Profile should be checked. That way, Photoshop Elements will include editable layers and attach the existing color profile to the file for your later convenience. Once done, click Save. And at this point, you can pat yourself on the back because you finished your first page. Congratulations, you are a digital scrapbooker now. But wait, what do you want to do with your page? Well, you can certainly close your file and celebrate with a warm bubble bath, wine, and soft music. That's what I suggest. but you could also ready your layout for printing. We're going to tackle printing in Lesson 3, but for now, I suggest we ready our first page for sharing on the web. Meet me in the next video for Lesson 2, and we'll wrap this bad boy up.